Hi, it's Arizona LLC attorney Richard Keyt. I've formed 9,400 Arizona LLCs, and we have 397 five-star reviews on Google, Facebook, and Birdeye. I'm going to show you what we give people when they hire us to form a silver or a gold LLC. So when people purchase our silver or gold LLC, they get an LLC portfolio, and I'm going to give you a show, and you can see what's contained in the LLC portfolio for these two different LLC packages that we offer. So first, there'll be a letter from us that explains the fact that the company's been organized and gives you other important information about your new LLC. Then if I move to the Articles of Organization tab, there'll be a page that shows you the articles of organization that we filed with the Arizona Corporation Commission to create your LLC. Next tab is Operations Manual. Now we give you access to a book that I wrote called the LLC Operations Manual. It's a 170-page ebook, and it contains the answers to the common questions people ask us after they form their LLC. Because we learned a long time ago, people always ask us the same questions after they form the company. So we knew we could save a lot of time if we put the answers to the common questions in the ebook. So if I turn the page and show you, there's a table of contents here in the LLC book, but it just gives you the information on what's contained inside the 170-page operations manual that you can access on our internet website. Chapter 3 is a checklist of 34 things that need to be done in the first 75 days after you form your company. Now, the next tab is the operating agreement. We always prepare an operating agreement for our LLCs. Operating agreements are not required by Arizona law, but we recommend that all LLCs have an operating agreement. And we have two of them. One is a 25-page operating agreement for a single member LLC or a husband and wife LLC. And the other one is a 75-page operating agreement, because that one contains a whole lot more, because when you have a company that has multiple unrelated owners, there's a whole lot of things that need to happen and issues that need to be covered in the operating agreement. Now, the next tab is called Minutes and Resolutions. So we also do minutes of the first meeting of the members. And these minutes authorize the election of the managers, issuance of the membership interests, authorize somebody to open a bank account. And Arizona law says that if a company's a managed or managed LLC, the only way that the company can nominate a manager is by having an operating agreement that names the managers. Next, we prepare a membership certificate for each member, and it shows how many units or how much percentage ownership of the company each member has. It's equivalent to a stock certificate, except it's for an owner of an LLC. Okay, so far, what I've shown you is the contents of our Silver LLC package. Now, for people who buy the Gold LLC package, that's for people who want confidentiality, because the Gold LLC does not have the name or address of the owner on the public record, because the owner is a confidential trust that we create, and that trust is a revocable living trust that owns the LLC, so that keeps the name of the ultimate owner off the public record. So the first tab here you see with the Gold LLC package is the trust letter. Then this is a 5-page letter that explains important facts that you need to know due to the fact that you have a trust created and it owns your LLC. Now, next we have the trust agreement, and this is the actual trust agreement that we created for your revocable living trust. It names the trustees, the future trustees, and future beneficiaries, and contains other important information about your trust. Now, the next tab is certification of trust. And this is a document you might use more than most of the others, because sometimes third parties like a trust company or a bank might want to see copies of your trust, but you don't want to give people copies of your trust because it contains confidential information. So whenever somebody like a title company or a bank or third party asks for a copy of your trust, you give them this document called certification of trust, and they'll be happy. The next tab is funding your trust. Funding is a term that means transferring assets to your trust. So the trust that we create for you, it can own any of your assets, your home, your bank account, your investment accounts. Whatever assets you put in your trust, those assets are going to pass automatically on your death or on the death of you and your spouse if you're married, the assets will pass automatically to the person or people you name in the trust agreement as your future beneficiaries. So that's a quick overview of the LLC portfolio and all the documents that we produce when we're hired to create a silver or a gold LLC. In conclusion, if you have an interest in forming or operating an LLC in Arizona, give me or my son, Ricky Keyt, a call. He was a former CPA before he went to ASU Law School, but we're happy to answer your questions about forming or operating Arizona LLCs. We don't charge for phone calls, office visits, or Zoom video conferences. So give us a call or book a free consultation at the link below.